Mr. Graham, homework help. Time for homework help. Yeah. Let's get started. Let's not waste any time. Here we go. You should be on page blah blah blah. On page 50. Ooh, nice round number. Take a look at this example, the model. Karina is 6 feet tall. Her cousin is 3 feet tall. How many times as tall as her cousin is Karina? So her cousin is 3 feet. It says that both in word form and in picture form. Karina is 6 feet. That's Karina's height right there. The question they're asking you is how many times as tall as her cousin is Karina? So they're saying how many of these little boxes did you have to put together to equal that 6? So you had a 3 and it took 1, 2 3s to get to the 6. So since it took 2 of those sections, Karina is 2 times as tall as her cousin. You see that? You get that? Now it's time for you to do it. Here we go. A small shrimp taco has 5 shrimp. Thank you. There are 3 times as many shrimp in a large taco. How many shrimp are in a large taco? Write and solve an equation to find the answer. So, let's write this equation first. A small shrimp taco has 5 shrimp. There are 3 times as many shrimp in a large taco. How many shrimp are in a large taco? 5 times 3. 5 times 3. That's 15. Dun, 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 dun. So you want to make sure that your answer has words in it because it's a word problem. So 15 shrimp. And you could have drawn a bar model for this. And if you want to, you want to show off a little bit, go ahead. Because it's never bad to practice. Can't hurt. Bar model for this equation right here and this answer would not be so bad. Let's move on. We're actually on page 51 now. And there's a couple more problems. Here we go. Christina read 7 pages in a magazine. Okay, thank you for that information. She read 5 times as many pages in a book. How many pages did Christina read altogether? All right, this one, another, they scare us with division and stuff, and then on these big problems that are a little more important, they give us the basic stuff, and this is basic. You've got the 7, and you've got 5 times. And what does that equal, 7 times 5? 35, if you know your multiplication tables. And they didn't say you had to write an equation here. See, there's no word equate. All they said is to show your work. For me, that was writing an equation. Maybe you want to have a little more fun with it. Maybe. Maybe you want to do a bar model. And this 5 times means you want to split it into 5 separate sections. And then you want to put 7 in each section. Well, if you do that, that's another way to show your work. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Got the same answer. We're just, we're getting older. We're in 4th grade now. And we're just getting a little more sophisticated. And we're able to explain ourselves with numbers, pictures, and how about we put some words in there too. How many pages did Christina read altogether? She read 35. Ooh. My initial response is to put 35 pages. But either the question the question's harder than I thought originally, or the people who made the question, like the book company, didn't realize what they're asking here. Because think about this. If she read 7 pages in a magazine, right, and then she read 5 times as many in a book, then that means the 35 pages she read were all from the book, right? B for book. And then they ask for how many she read altogether. But we remember that she read 7 pages in a magazine. So to get all together, from the book and the magazine, should we then add one more 7 to get to 42? If so, that becomes a slightly harder problem. Because you might do what I almost did. You might, T for total, and M for magazine. You might do what I almost did, which was stop after I found out how many book pages she read. But if they want all the pages all together, then we have to include those 7 pages from the magazine too. 35 plus 7 equals 42. And if you're able to see that on your own, you are very observant. You're very, very sharp. Because I almost missed that. And I don't know if they made that problem harder on purpose, or if maybe they weren't thinking about, the fact that there's a book and there's a magazine and we got to add them all together. But that's why I put both answers. So, so I've got both. Da, 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 da. If it was a multiple choice test and I had to choose between 35 and 42, I would pick 42. Now that I think about it, I think 42 is the superior answer because of that word altogether. All right, one more. Ada, I guess that is, swam 7 laps in a pool. Thank you for that info. Kaya, I think my family has a dog named Kaya, if I remember the name. Yeah, I think it is Kaya. Swam 28 laps. I don't live with those people. If you're wondering why I don't remember the dog's name, because I don't see it that often. How many times the number of laps Ada swam did Kaya swim? Okay. How many times is the number of laps Ada swam than Kaya swam? I don't like the way that's worded. Whatever. So the point is, Kaya swam 28. That's the big number. And Ada only swam 7. So we want this to be division. And they said, how many times more laps did Ada swim? So circle the letter of the correct answer. Well, 28 divided by 7. Or you could have wrote a backwards equation and gotten 28 equals 7 times blank. 2 different ways to think about pretty much the same thing. Either way, the answer is the same. 7 times what equals 28? 28 divided by 7 is what? I'm going to write it big right here because it counts for both. 4. Cool. So let's circle A. And this one is a little harder. You know what? They got a little bit harder each time. This one was the easiest. This one had an extra step that we almost forgot about because of that pesky word altogether. And then this guy's got division in there. Oh, and something else. J-Ho, which is someone's name, chose D as the correct answer. J chose that one. How did he get that answer? Oh, J. Look how big that answer is compared to what we got. How do you think they got to 196? The real answer is 4. This guy put 196. What did he do? We divided. 28 divided by 7 equals 4. You know what they did? You know what they probably did? They probably did 28 times 7. They didn't realize that they were asking for a backwards equation or a division problem. So, how did he get that answer? I'm going to tell you right now with some words. Poor Jeho. multiplied instead of dividing. 196 is way too big of an answer. It isn't even close! Exclamation point. Next time, Jay should be careful and try to see if the problem is asking for division. Division. Let's leave it there. Poor Jay. Poor Jay. Alright, guys. Well, that's the end. Is there more? No, it's a blank page. Okay, that's the end. Thanks for sticking around with me in homework. You'll notice if you turn the page, on page 52 and 53, there's some more work to do. We're going to do that in class together because they can be challenging, and I want to make sure that you're really doing them right. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.